You do this almost every day. You rehearse conversations that never happen. In the shower. In bed. In the car. While staring at your phone with your eyes unfocused. You say the perfect thing. Then they answer. Then you answer back. You win the argument. You confess the truth. You finally explain what you should have said 3 years ago. And the strangest part is, your brain reacts as if it's real. Your heart speeds up. Your jaw tightens. Your body prepares for a conversation with someone who isn't even in the room. But this is not just overthinking. It is something much older. Something buried deep inside the human mind. Because your brain was not built to make you happy. It was built to keep you alive. Long before text messages, offices, breakups, and unread DMs, humans survived by predicting other humans. Who was angry? Who was lying? Who might betray the group? Who might protect you? One wrong social move could mean exile. And exile, for most of human history, meant death. So your brain learned to run simulations. Not of weather. Not of numbers. Of people. Most people think rehearsing imaginary conversations means they are anxious, insecure, or unable to let things go. And sometimes, yes, anxiety is involved. But that explanation is incomplete. Because if this were only anxiety, your brain would avoid these scenes. Instead, it returns to them. Again and again. Like a director reshooting the same scene until the ending feels safe. Researchers studying the brain's default mode network found something strange. When your mind wanders, it doesn't go quiet. It becomes intensely active. At Harvard, psychologists found that people spend nearly half their waking hours thinking about something other than what they are doing. At MIT and other neuroscience labs, researchers have shown that the brain constantly builds models of future events, especially social ones. And what they discovered surprised everyone. Your brain is not replaying conversations because it wants drama. It is rehearsing identity. Every imaginary conversation is a test. Who am I if they reject me? Who am I if I finally speak up? Who am I if I tell the truth and they don't understand? This is the hidden reason you rehearse conversations that never happen. Your brain is not trying to predict their words. It is trying to predict your survival after their reaction. That is why the conversations feel so intense. Because underneath the fake dialogue, there is a real question. Will I still be safe if I am fully seen? But here's where it gets even stranger. Your brain often cannot clearly separate a vividly imagined social threat from a real one. If you imagine someone judging you, the body can respond with stress. If you imagine an argument, your nervous system can prepare for conflict. If you imagine rejection, your chest can feel heavy, even though nothing has happened. The room is quiet. No one is speaking. But inside your skull, a trial is taking place. And you are the witness, the lawyer, the accused, and the judge. In one experiment, participants were asked to imagine emotionally charged conversations with people from their lives while researchers observed patterns in brain activity. The same regions involved in memory, emotion, and social understanding began to light up together. The brain was not treating the scene like fiction. It was stitching memory and possibility into one living experience. A person could sit motionless in a chair, surrounded by wires and machines, while inside their mind they were standing in a kitchen at midnight, finally telling someone, "You hurt me." Their body knew the room was fake. But their nervous system listened anyway. And this matters because you're not just watching these inner conversations. You are being shaped by them. Every time you rehearse what you would say, you are training a version of yourself. Sometimes that version becomes braver. Sometimes it becomes more defensive. Sometimes it becomes trapped. Because the brain does not only prepare for the future. It practices becoming the person who will meet it. That is why some imaginary conversations leave you calm. They give you language for emotions you never understood. They let you organize chaos. They help you discover the sentence you were afraid to say. But others feel like a cage. You repeat the same argument. The same comeback. The same confession. The same impossible apology. And each time, nothing resolves. That is not preparation anymore. That is emotional rehearsal without release. And the deeper layer is this. Many of the conversations you rehearse are not really with the person you imagine. They are with a wound. The parent who never listened. The friend who disappeared. The person who made you feel small. The version of yourself who stayed silent when something inside you wanted to scream. So the mind chooses a face. A voice. A familiar setting. But the real conversation is with the part of you still waiting to be defended. This is why imaginary conversations can appear years later. The event is gone. The person has changed. You have changed. But the nervous system still holds an unfinished scene. And it keeps sending it back into consciousness, asking one question. Can we survive this differently now? But there is a warning here. If you let every imagined conversation become a battlefield, your brain may start living in conflict before conflict even arrives. You may respond to people not as they are, but as the role they played in your private rehearsal. You may walk into a real conversation already wounded by one that never happened. And that is the danger. The mind can prepare you. Or it can imprison you. The difference is awareness. The next time you catch yourself rehearsing a conversation, don't immediately fight it. Pause. Ask yourself what your brain is trying to protect. Is it your pride? Your safety? Your dignity? Your need to finally be understood? Because maybe the conversation is not the problem. Maybe it is a message. A signal from some quiet room inside you where the truth has been waiting for permission to speak. You rehearse conversations that never happen because the human mind is a survival machine made of memory, fear, hope, and unfinished sentences. It builds invisible theaters in the dark. It casts the people who hurt you. It writes the lines you never said. And sometimes, if you listen closely, it is not trying to trap you in the past. It is trying to lead you out of it. So the next time you find yourself speaking to someone who isn't there, ask this. What part of me still believes this conversation could set me free? And if that question made you feel something, subscribe. Because the strangest mysteries are not out in the world. They are happening inside you right now.